going on, everybody? Welcome back to Bone Apple Tea. I'm your host, Randy Baruso, and today I interview Shaunte Monet Smith, or as everyone will now know her as, Shaunte Monet. We talk all things in her life that's going on, whether that's being a model, an actress. She owns a business in lingerie, and she travels the world. And get this, she's also a mom. So she's doing all this crazy stuff and also being a mom at the same time. So she's a really wonderful person to hear about her life and what it's like to be her and do her thing. And you get to learn all about that and more in this episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Bone Apple Tea. Thank you so much for listening and enjoy the show. All right. We are in the stew with Shaunte Monet Smith.
We are here, yes. He got the name fully correct.
Yes. Well, do people mispronounce that?
Well, no, but people just call me Shaunte Smith. And I like it specifically Shaunte Monet Smith. I mean, eventually you want to just go Shaunte Monet.
Yeah.
And just forget the Smith.
Well, I was going to just title the episode Shaunte Monet.
Were you really?
Yeah.
Okay, please do that. That'd be awesome.
All right, perfect.
Make my day.
Now, and speaking of your day's been all over the place. I just saw your story.
Yeah.
So you had a movie premiere last night, which cool. I didn't even know you were in a movie.
Yes. It was a short film.
Yeah, short film.
But I was, and it was insane. My first time, being, I guess, I don't want to say, where the attention was kind of on me and people were clapping and telling me how great I was. And I was just like, wow, this is a real thing.
Addicting.
Yeah. And it was a real, good rush. And I'm still riding that wave today. I woke up today what?
Yeah, feeling like $1 million.
Yeah.
Right?
People were asking for my autograph, and then people were asking to take pictures with me. So I was like, no, I love this feeling. This is what I was working so hard for, and it's coming slowly but surely.
And you're getting little bits of it right now, because these are independent short films. So it's now with this, what was the movie called? For short film called?
It's called Miss Venti French Roast.
Okay. And can we know more about it?
Ooh, okay. This is my first time. So I don't want to give too much away. I know that's the secret.
Sure.
It's just about, how I'm trying to think about that's way without giving too much away.
Sure. Now, if you want, while you're thinking, I'll talk about my short film very quickly.
Oh, yes.
So, and maybe we'll give you ideas how to navigate, talking about it. So my short film centers around Charles and Cassidy, my wife, and my father moves into the house who has dementia. And it's sort of how does that impact your relationship and what is it like to live in that kind of a life? And so the movie's called Tuesday because it represents any day of the week that these people might live.
That. Yeah. Okay, and you did that well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've talked about it a few times.
Okay, so you had
practice. A little bit of an advantage there. Yeah.
You're ready and prepared.
Yes,
this is my first time, my first movie premiere, and now my first time actually being asked about it. So
really?
You are putting me on the spot here.
Also, don't mind me. I have to control things with my phone and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So don't mind me if I'm on my phone. I'm still paying attention.
Okay, you got it. So I guess I would just say it's more like a love plot twist kind of a film, where I am the coffee that's brewing in two people's relationship, and they have no idea that I'm the middle person in their triangle. So it's kind of it's just a twist, but it's more like a mystery love type of thing.
Oh, very cool.
It was.
How long is it?
It's only 15 minutes.
Yep, that's good. Yeah, mine was 16.
Yeah,
so that's a good short film time, because it's I think once you get to the 20-minute mark, I think that's for me when a short film starts bridging into, not as much of a short film, because it should feel like a piece of something that maybe leaves you with wanting a little more.
Oh my God. That's exactly what happened too. That's exactly how I felt. I'm and even though I was there filming the whole thing, so I know how it ends, but when I was watching it, I'm that's it.
Yeah,
you're I need to know more.
Yeah, no. And I just showed mine to my aunt last night because she didn't get to go to the theater premiere. So I was like, I'll bring it over and we can all watch it on your TV.
Yeah.
And the first thing she said at the end, she's like, no, it's over.
Right.
I wanted it to keep going. She's like, why? When's the next one? I'm like, you got money?
Right.
It's
expensive. There may be a next one though, because it looked like your premiere thing looked really, really cool. And I'm like,
yeah, thank you.
It was dope. I was like, whoa, I'm about to see him. A few days from now, I'm having one as well. So
I know it's so cool. I think it's what's great about it is it's for me and for you, I think is the start of something that will bloom into something even better.
Oh, yes.
You know?
I feel just exactly the same.
Yeah.
Yep, I really feel that way. Somebody's going to come out of this.
Yeah. Now, so you had your film premiere and then you went, where else did you go? You've been like driving all over New England this morning.
Oh, God, yes. So I went to Massachusetts for a fitting for a bridal company called Bridal Corner. And they're having a runway show next month. So I had to do my fitting for that. And then for some reason, I thought we were going to be in Rhode Island, but we were in Connecticut. So I was like, got to go to Connecticut now. So boom, I was in New York. I'm in Massachusetts, and now I'm in Connecticut. Now someone else is hitting me up like, hey, well, can you come this way since you're in Connecticut? I'm like, well, why not? If I'm in Connecticut, let's go ahead and chop it up. Here we
go,
And it's all about film that we're going to be talking. So I'm like, why not? Like, so it worked out perfectly though. I come this way. At least now I get to see you, and I was able to handle that. At least all in like the same day. So.
Yeah. Wait, and are you more like? Do you live in New York?
Yeah, I live in the Bronx.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So I woke up this morning.
This makes sense why this has taken as long as it has to actually schedule.
Yeah.
Because like we've been trying to get on this for a while. And when we committed to the time, I was so psyched because I feel like there's a lot to learn about you and a lot that's really cool that I think everyone would be really excited to hear about. So some stuff, because, if you don't know who Shaunte Monet is, you're about to. And there's some stuff that I think is super cool. So you got the modeling, the acting.
Yes.
Also, something that I think is important to note is you're a mom.
Yes.
Like
doing all of this. Yep.
Like you're doing all this stuff. And like, so now you had your first, when did you have your first actually? Like how many years ago?
Oh, my first kid?
Yeah.
Well, I only have one. So when you said that threw me off, I was like, wait, how many do I have?
My bad.
I was a teen. I was 15 years old when I had my son. So I guess everything I wasn't able to pursue then, now I'm like having the opportunity to do so because he's so much older now.
Right.
You know, he's like a teen, a preteen. So
yeah. Now, how was that? Because like, that's like a huge thing to happen when you're 15.
I know.
Socially, I'm sure it wasn't a ton of fun to have to deal with that.
No, it wasn't. I mean, it wasn't, my family and friends, they were supportive. I kept it a secret to like the very end until I was like, to the very end, right? So I didn't tell anyone.
Yeah, you couldn't keep it a secret anymore.
I couldn't keep it a secret no more. And people would still ask me, are you pregnant? I'm like, no. I'm not. Just leave me alone. I'm not. They're like, she's pregnant.
Yeah.
So, but it wasn't bad. I mean, I graduated high school a little bit early.
Oh, really?
So I graduated high school when I was 17 instead of 18. So I was like almost like just hitting 17. So I didn't have to deal with like the last couple, like the last 4 years of high school, going through all of that. But once I had my son, people kind of forgot because I wasn't going out and I wasn't like doing a lot of things. I was just school and home. So if you didn't know me, you didn't know I had a kid.
Oh, wow.
So like if you didn't know me personally, you d't know I had a kid. And I also changed high school. So
oh, wow. So big thing. So,
so
new person comes in, they're not going to be like, hey, do you have a kid?
Yeah. So it was just like school, home, school, home. And so if you didn't really if you weren't someone who came to my house and really knew me, then you didn't know that my son. Some people still don't even know I have a son.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because the thing is, you're so young and you're doing so much stuff that it seems to me, I'm like, holy shit, how's she doing all this? And she's got a kid. Like, that's crazy. I
mean, one of the key parts is just like having a good support system. So now I have that. I didn't have that before. Before it was just me. It was like I had to go to school, and then my sons on his father's side, they helped us while we went to school, and then once he was in daycare, it was easier.
Right, because
they pick your kid up and then go home.
Right.
I couldn't do much. So I think that's why, I don't know if you noticed, I'm always out now because I couldn't do that before. When I was younger, I just couldn't do it.
Yeah, you know? Making up for lost time a little bit.
So now I'm at the stage, I feel like I'm kind of going reverse. Like everything I couldn't do back then, I'm definitely diving in to do now.
When did you even start? So when did you start the whole modeling thing? Because that was first, right? The modeling stuff was first before acting stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. So I started modeling. I want to say I started getting into it in 2000 and well, you know what? Let me go back for real.
Let
me go back.
Here we go.
I wanted to be a model. So all my life, from a kid, I remember graduating middle school, elementary school, and people saying, your daughters need to be a model. I was always the tallest anywhere I went in school. From
so they were came here with heels on, and I was like, well, I feel short.
Even when I took them off, you were like, I still feel short, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. You took them off. I was like, all right,
So I heard it all my life and I always wanted to do it, but I had parents that just didn't help me pursue it. So I left that behind. So when my son was like, maybe when I graduated high school, I would think I was 18 at the time. That's when I first went out and reached out to John Casablanca's modeling agency.
Yeah.
And I started all of the development courses and I didn't finish because at that time it was getting a little hectic with my son and then going to college.
Right.
So I just didn't finish. And so I just went back to normal life, working my 9 to 5, trying to finish college. Eventually I did. And then it wasn't until 2019, years later, this is probably like 6 years now.
Yeah.
Since I first initially started thinking about modeling. And another one, I was diagnosed with breast cancer back in 2000. And
no way.
That's why I went back into modeling. Because I said, if I died today, like I didn't do anything I really wanted to do, which was always modeling. I always wanted to be a model. Like it's all I could ever think of.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm now cancer free, just to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, but that's
God.
fantastic.
But that's what got me back into it. So when that happened, I was like, no. I had a good job in Connecticut. And I was like, no. I had graduated college and everything worked out. And I'm like, nope. This is not what I want to do. And I'm not happy, you know? So, and I realize that now that I'm being faced with
cancer,
you know, right? Like,
when you're
thinking
looking
about your life, right?
Yeah, you're like, holy shit, did I really get to live the life I wanted to live?
Thank you.
Yeah.
So there it is. And so I quit my job and then I finished my acting and my modeling courses and then boom, I left to New York and started modeling. And
and that's been it.
That's been it. And then in modeling is when I started dabbling into acting, and now I love acting.
Yeah.
And people are confused. They're like, "Well, which one do you love more now? Because you're doing so great in your acting." And I'm like, I said, well, acting may be my segue into like my modeling. That may happen too. What I heard.
I mean, they do often go hand in hand. Even if you look at like some of the biggest guys, like or guys and gals and all in between, is like Jake Gyllenhaal did that Prada thing.
Right.
And like, first of all, by the way, that was the most epic like cologne commercial I'd ever seen. It's just like him on a boat, just like looking super stern and like just water being splashed on his face and whatnot. Then just at the end, it's just like Prada.
I know. That was so dramatic, but
yeah, I was like, oh, is there a new movie coming out? Like,
exactly.
What's up? You know?
But we remembered it, and that was like I guess that's the point. We're like,
yeah. I mean, I'm still talking. I know the brand. I know the exact everything about it. So
I know. That was hot.
But yeah, I think that sometimes it does go hand in hand. You'll find people that like they'll make it in acting or modeling, and it'll kind of like transfer one to the other.
Yeah,
you know?
And I'm learning that slowly because when I first started, I was like, modeling. That's it. I just want to be.
That's it, right?
I don't care about nothing else.
I
want to be a model.
Learn lines, you know.
That's it. I don't want to do anything else. And now, when I went to the IMTAs, they were just like, you need to do on-camera hosting because you just have like your
you would be a great
personality. So I was like, okay, I'll just try it since I'm here. And then that was it. Yeah. I was like, I love this stuff.
Lights, cameras, you know.
So I think that may happen, but like you said, with all the other, anyone who's an actor, they usually do modeling stuff for like endorsements with like different type of brands. So it kind of do go hand in hand, even with like singers and stuff like that. They do modeling things. And so a model, they go into the acting world, or a singer, they go into the acting world. It just always happens. So I think that's like in the entertainment industry, it kind of goes hand in hand with one another.
Yeah, it's like if you're entertaining, period. Like we can try and find an avenue. Like if you're entertaining, like popular and entertaining, like we'll find an avenue to make money off of you.
Right.
Because like that's essentially what it is.
That's
like if you can make them money, they're ready to put you in something. Mm-hmm. So you know.
The only thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to pursue singing.
Singing?
Yeah, no, because I know how like some actors, they'll start singing or some singers, they're going to acting. I'm like, don't think I'm ever coming out with an album. I'm not doing that.
Yeah, I heard your karaoke. Just have fun with the karaoke.
You heard that?
Yeah, we'll stick it to there, you know.
Oh my God. I lost. I don't know how I lost. I thought I had vocals, but I guess when you're in a competition, you don't really have vocals.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, it's like...
Whoa.
Yeah. I mean, well, sing. And the thing is karaoke, it's all about the fun.
Yeah,
you know,
no,
you don't
so
gotta be Ariana Grande up there singing.
I thought I was too.
She's like, am I the next Beyonce? No.
The funniest thing is because I really do feel like that when I'm singing to myself.
Yeah, you're in your car and you're singing along to the song. You're like, sign me now. Right? Like,
that's so funny. Yes, that's me. That's me.
So you have this like modeling career and the acting thing going all at the same time, but you also have this business. So you have
so much, yeah.
I know. And that's a big reason why I wanted you on. So you have Monet Lingerie.
Yes.
Now, when did that come out or like come about? You were like, okay, I'm going to start making some hot lingerie sets. Like, I got to start doing this now. So what was that about?
Oh, God. Okay. So again, it boils back down to modeling. So what happened was when I first started modeling, I was very timid and there were certain things I didn't want to do. I didn't like to show too much. I'm like, I can't do this. I can't do that. And then what happened was someone said, you need to start doing different things in your modeling career. Like, you know, whatever. So I was introduced with a modeling job for a lingerie line.
Okay.
Out in New Jersey, Atlantic City. And I said, you know what, Shaunte, just do it. What's the worst that can happen? They don't want you no more.
Yeah.
So I did it and I ended up loving it. And I think I had something to do with like who I was shooting with. They made me feel comfortable and it just worked out. So it was then I was like, I always wanted to do lingerie, but I was like, I'm just too, I was just too nervous, you know what I mean? So like, I was the type that never wore like a 2-piece bathing suit. I just didn't like to show my body. So I never pursued it. But then when I did that, it opened me up and I was like, I'm going to do lingerie. I'm going to build a brand. And then I said to myself, why? Also, I don't need to wait for someone else, for me, like another company to pick me to be their face of their line or their brand. So I'm like, why can't I be the face of my own brand too? So I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
Like Monet Lingerie is coming. So it was then I was like, let's start. I started doing research.
It's a good name too.
Thank you. I thought
Glides
so
right
too.
off the tongue.
Monet Lingerie.
Yeah.
I like that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I want to leave the Smith. I just want to say Shaunte Monet. So when you hear my name, it's kind of like, oh, that's Monet Lingerie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think the Shaunte Monet just like is a great.
You think so?
I think it's great. Yeah.
I'm glad. Good.
That's actually how I call. Like, I don't know you as Shaunte Smith.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you right now.
I love
really,
this.
I thought your last name was Monet.
Okay. My last name is Monet. I love this.
Yeah.
Get out. You really did?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It was like, it wasn't until I noticed that it's Shaunte Monet Smith in your profile. It has the whole thing spelled out. And I was like, oh, okay. So her last name is Smith.
Yeah. Well, do you think I should remove the Smith off of my profile name? What do you think?
Profile name?
Give me your thoughts.
I mean, I think you should just go for it. You know,
yeah?
it's your social media profile, you know?
The reason why I kept the Smith because I knew that people had already known me for Shaunte Smith. So I was like, I don't want them to be like, well, who's Shaunte Monet?
Yeah.
But I think
they'll know.
Yeah, right.
I think they'll know.
I was concerned about that. I was like,
I think the people you already know aren't going to be confused when the Smith goes off.
You're right. You're right. I didn't even think of that. I was like, I don't want someone to look for me like, oh, let me find Shaunte Smith, and they can't find me because I'm Shaunte Monet, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
But I think I'm going to do that.
I think you have a big enough personality where like people aren't going to be like, oh, where is she? Like they'll find you. You know what I mean?
True. I'll be trending anyway, so probably it'll pop up right when you start typing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
So going back to your short film, how did you prepare for it? Because like, you know, there's obviously it's like, I imagine, you know, it's not just line reading.
Yeah,
you know?
no.
So what went into that?
So we did a table read by Zoom because, you know, at that time, COVID, I filmed it, I want to say maybe like 5 months ago, 6 months ago.
Sometime in 2021.
Yeah. And then, so we did the table read. I got to, you know, the chance to get to meet the cast. And I thought that kind of helped. But it doesn't really help until you actually get with the cast and actually rehearse it and see, you know, how they feel and how they move and kind of get a flow of them and get a feeling of them. So it wasn't until, you know, I just made sure I knew my lines. Yep. So I can just go with it naturally. Because when you're thinking about your lines, you really can't be as natural as you want to be in acting if you don't really know your lines. Like, know your lines and know, you know, that scene, know what's happening there. So that's just what I do. I prepare with my script. And then when I get there, if we're not going to rehearse, because usually with the short films, they kind of want you to just dive right in. Yeah. But I always ask, can we rehearse like one time? Just so I can know, you know, how this person reacts.
There's definitely like, this assumption like, oh, it's film, so you can just record as many takes as you want. And it's like, that's usually not the case. Like sometimes you only have 3 chances. And 3 chances is a lot. Yeah. You know, like, and just because there's timing involved, there's like, you know, maybe you're working with the sun and the sun's going to go down, but you need that sunlight. So you got to be able to hit your lines and do the scene and move on. And there's not like a ton of room for like, oh, let's do it again and do it again and do it again. Like you usually don't have that luxury.
And only because if you are doing that one shot again, because usually you have to do multiple shots. You got to do it again this way, again that way. So you have different cuts and then again back this way. So you kind of want to get it the first time when you're shooting this way so they can go ahead and shoot it again 3 times more this way. You know what I mean? So that's what makes it lengthy. But Yeah, I mean, I still screw up sometimes. We all screw up. I've been around like some major actors, and they still, screw up.
Yeah,
They're like, I just can't get that line. They're like, line?
Line. What is it? Yeah.
Because I think a piece of it is also like the way we talk. When we read a line, and if it's not the way we talk, we kind of like can't comprehend it sometimes.
Yeah, there's definitely, I think for me, some of the toughest things are the more like in-depth commercially types that are like very specific. Like, I have such a hard time memorizing those things. Like, and sometimes a writer will write something and you're like, I would never say this sentence ever. Like ever, I would never say. I thought I was
the only one who thought that.
No, definitely not.
I would never say like
and that's why it's tough to be line perfect sometimes, is because like, oh shit, like I would never say this like this. But you have to work because the way it's written a certain way for a reason.
Right.
And you have to make it sound like you've been thinking about this just right now. You're thinking of the words on the spot, Yeah. And that's like the really tough thing. And that's why, so actors like Paul Rudd is really known for being exact line perfect.
Okay.
And you would never know because he just sounds like he's just being himself the whole time.
Yeah, that's the key.
And
that's the key.
Yeah, isn't it funny? I feel like I see this online a lot. They'll be like, "Oh, this actor he only plays himself. She only plays herself." And I'm like, "Yeah, that's actually really hard, though."
Yeah.
Do you know how hard it is to be? First of all, most people don't even know who they are. Period.
Right.
And then, secondly, to be able to speak someone else's words in your own voice is a tough assignment.
Yeah, don't tell me to be myself, because the reason why I'm in acting is because I want to be someone else. Like, not that I want to be someone else, but I actually enjoy being someone else. So don't tell me to be myself, please. Tell me who you want me to be. I kind of like it like that. But,
yeah. So what do you have? So you've done for Monet Lingerie, you've done like I saw you did like a little launch and you got some sales going. Is there like plans for like what you're doing next with that?
Actually, I had to put it on a little bit of a halt because I'm like a one-man band right now.
Yeah,
so,
right.
I've been filming a lot of things, and so I have been having I don't know if you've seen, I'm traveling all over the place. I live in the sky.
Yeah,
man, I live in the sky.
Can we talk about that? Why are you traveling so much?
I live in the sky. So one of the films that I'm shooting now currently, they pay for room and board, fly me out, and it's in LA. We got to go to Miami. We got to go to Puerto Rico.
Shit.
So that's just what the production calls for the cast to be here, there, which I find kind of strange because I'm like, we could pretend that we're in Miami. Do we really have to be in Miami? But I'm not complaining because I love it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, they're flying here, there. So that's why I've been flying a lot. And then my manager, he'll have events like modeling events that he wants me to attend. He'll need his models to come. So he'll be like, I need you in LA. I need you here. We're going to do this here in Florida. So I'm back on another flight. So what was happening like the last 4 months of my life between between September and like December, I was probably home maybe like a combined days, maybe a week out of the month combined. Wow. Yeah. And that was really getting tough for me because I was getting homesick. I was feeling like I was living outside of my suitcase. Like, as soon as I get home, I had to be on the next flight maybe the next day or maybe 2 days from then. And I'm like,
wow.
I don't even get to, so there was one time, I'm not even going to lie, I broke down crying.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, I don't know if this is for me. I don't know. So I forgot who I called because I called a bunch of people. I usually call my twin sister or I usually call
how do we know this
friend?
Isn't your twin sister right now?
You don't. You don't. And you can't prove me wrong or right.
No, I have no clue. No clue.
You don't. We know everything about each other. So whenever someone tries to like, I can tell if you're not her. I'm like, what can you possibly ask me that I don't know about my twin sister?
Yeah.
Like, there's really nothing. We talk about everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, this tripped me up. So now I don't even know if I'm actually interviewing Shaunte Monet.
You may have to interview me again.
Yeah. Should get you both on at one point. Just it's like a twins podcast.
That'd be dope. That'd
be funny.
So I was just like, is this for me? Is this for me? And then one of my friends whipped me back into shape. She was like, girl, this is what you asked for. So don't even act like that. I was like, you know what? You're right. This is part of the game. This is part of the industry. So, because, you're always traveling. You're never home. Not never, but I mean,
it definitely, like, because of the positions that we're in right now, we have to take everything that we're given.
That too, yeah.
You know, so it's like any like really cool opportunity to do a shoot down in Miami or in LA or over here, like you're going to take it because,
absolutely.
You know, do you have a full-time job, or is the modeling thing your full-time job?
Yeah, modeling. And also I do my lingerie, which is a piece of an income. And then modeling and acting, which is a piece of an income. And then I also do, I just do a million one things.
Yeah.
I also do real estate.
Oh, you do real estate?
Yeah.
Because I was wondering how, like, you know, like, because like, you know, I work as an engineer, and so anytime so
you are brilliant.
Thank you.
You know that.
Thank you very much, and so are you. Anyway, so yeah, I think people will be like, oh yeah, it's just being a realtor, but there's a lot of like, you know, friggin' like human interaction stuff that is not easy being a realtor.
I guess if you have the personality.
I was gonna say you're like because like you're Miss Personality, so like of course to you it's easy, but most people can't, you know.
You got to be a people's person, like to deal with, because you got to deal with a lot of different people, a lot of different personalities. You kind of got to like just.
And you have to be like, you have to be selling someone something without them really thinking that you're selling them something.
Yeah, that's the hard part for me. I have to say, like, I'm not a salesman.
Yeah,
I'm not. So I just started doing real estate because I was like, I need to do something else to get some income.
So you got your real estate license, right? You have to start with that first and whatnot.
And I just got it. Maybe I think I want to say October.
Okay,
October around there.
And how you been liking that?
I like it. I haven't closed on anything too major. Like I'm gonna close on like a $3 million home or something.
Yeah.
But I like it. I like it because I could do it when I want, when I can.
Right.
So like if I cannot do real estate right now, I just can't do it.
Yeah.
So when I'm on the road or in the air, you know, so I don't have to adhere to anyone's schedule, and that's the problem. So like, you know, with this industry, I'll get a phone call like, hey, we need you here. Can you be on a flight to LA tomorrow? I never want to be able to say. I never want to say no.
Yeah,
ever,
you want to be able to say yes every time.
Right,
even
that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah, it's like even if like it's really inconvenient, it's like, well, I'm okay with dealing with this inconvenience because I know that to get anywhere, you have to get comfortable being uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Step one. And then
I need to work on that. Being uncomfortable, like getting out of my comfort zone. Right now I'm in my comfort zone. I need to step out.
Yeah, well, I mean, comfort zone's like kind of relative though, girl, because you're traveling so much. I mean, that's not exactly comfy, you know? I mean, unless you like, and I mean, the super enjoyment of that is like being able to travel all the time. I'm sure a lot of people wish that they could do that. So it's
hard.
Definitely
it is hard.
It's like, it sounds really cool until like you're living out of your suitcase and you have a mental breakdown because you're like, I don't want to fucking keep doing this, you know? Yeah. So you had that conversation with your friend and they pretty much like talked to you like,
in shape. And then I just was like, all right, back at it.
Yeah.
I was in Miami at the time. And so I had to be there for 3 more days. So
oh, wow.
It is what it is. And then I just was back to nowhere. And when I got home, I was just like, just be happy I'm home for this one day, and I was back on the road again like a day from there.
And how is that with like your son?
So here's the great thing. There's a lot in my world.
Yeah.
So my family, we've been in real estate for a long time on the investor side. So we only just started doing the agent side. So my grandmother's house, right, lives right next to my aunt's house. So what I've done was my grandmother, she's getting old and she lives in a 5-bedroom home all by herself. So what happened is my mother was just like, and my aunt was like, you know, she almost fell down the steps. We need someone there. So I was like, this is perfect. I can move in. And me and my son so we moved in with my grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Who's there. And so, but she has a lot of miles and she loves us being there now. You know, when you get older, people don't call you as much. You don't see your family. So
yeah. And it's harder to get out and do things in general just because when you're old, it's like, it's kind of a big deal to get up and go somewhere, you know?
My grandmother is old, but she isn't old. When I say she has a lot of miles, she will whoop you into shape. Like she has a lot of miles. She's not, you know, she's not losing it yet. She has a long, long way to go. And then
that's awesome. That's really good.
You want to know what's crazy?
Yeah, of course I do. Of course I want to know what's crazy.
She has not left the house since COVID. Isn't that insane? She has not left that house since COVID 2019.
Whoa. So like,
is it 2020? I think the end of 2020.
Yeah, it was like 2020 was like the beginning of it. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, she's left the house to take the garbage and put it in front of the house, right? But outside of that,
that's not leaving the house though. That's just stepping outside of the house.
Isn't that insane?
So has people just been delivering her groceries? And stuff?
I go for my grandmother.
Okay.
I mean, she has a very particular diet, so it's not like she does like major shopping. But I get her medicine for her.
Wow,
you know, I go
look at you.
I just start to walk, and I go grocery shopping. When I go grocery shopping, obviously I just grab her stuff that she likes to get to eat. But
wow.
So I mean, it's really.
That's great. Now, is she nervous about all this stuff, and that's why she doesn't want to leave? I mean, understandably so, right? Like for the elderly, it's the most threatening, right?
Yeah, if she saw this, she's gonna like, you were talking and you guys didn't have a mask. I'm like, get over it. I'm like,
hey,
I'm
we're
vaxxed.
like almost 6 feet apart, you know?
True. I'm like, look, we're not even. Oh my God, insane. You're taking the garbage out, put on a mask. I'm like,
Mom, we're going out. Grandma, we're going outside.
I'm like, if my mother didn't tell, my aunt and them didn't say, please, Shaunte, we need you, I'll be like, it's kind of crazy, but it's my grandmother. I love her. I owe her. She's the reason why I'm here today and the woman I am. I give her full credit.
Oh, that's awesome.
Piece of that, yeah.
That's really cool. It sounds like you have a wonderful little relationship over there and support system.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it just worked out that way because when I first moved to New York, I didn't know how I was going to do it. I'm like, how am I going to pull this off with my son? So it just so happened, like, God works in mysterious ways. He figures things out for you, and so it just so happened that they were like, well, my mom is getting old and she lives in that house by herself. You grab a room. There's a room. There's still 2 other empty rooms. So, you know, and so it just worked out that way. But when I first was doing it, I had no idea. But I plan on leaving. No one knows this. I don't know how I'm going to tell my family, but I'm leaving to LA. I haven't told them. My sisters know, but July.
Wow. For what?
For modeling and acting. I just want to do it.
You just, and you're like, so there's not like something out there that's already calling you. You're just saying, hey, let me pick myself up and move out there.
Yeah, well, I've been to LA a bunch of times for LA Fashion Week, and I love it out there. And I've like met a lot of people, and I feel like my career, at least in terms of modeling, I mean, New York is a modeling spot too, but
yeah.
I don't know. I want to go to LA. I just want to go to LA so bad. I feel like, Taraji P. Henson, right? I saw an interview of her, and she said how she had her kid, a toddler, and $700, and she just up and left and went to LA. She said she wanted to act so bad, and she said she didn't know how she was going to do it, but she took her $700, and now look where she is, everywhere. So I was like, I've been thinking about it for so many years. I'm like, just do it. Just do it. So I said, what's the worst that can happen? I come back to New York, and I'm back where I started.
Yeah.
So
no, it's still very bold. Very like, I love it because it's like, you're really kind of like going all in, and you're putting yourself in a position where it's like, all right, like, it's go time, Do you have like some first like things that you want to do, like when you get out there, like a little plan of attack or anything?
Yeah. Yes and no. The only plan I have is that I know that I want to be in front of every agency, in front of every studio. I want to get in front of the faces of anybody that's out there that that can get my foot through the door. And that's I just want to, like, I don't want to go out there to party, hang out.
Right.
I want to make friends, but I want it to be like for networking and building in the film industry and the modeling industry. And that's really what I want like my friends to be. Whether it be like, producers and writers and trainers and things like that. So I'm just going there to build. And if it doesn't work out, I'm going to go the first 2 months by myself. My son goes to his father's house because we have a good relationship, me and his father. So he's going to go to his father's house this summer for the 2 months. And so within the 2 months, I said, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to go up there by myself and I'm just going to grind. And if let the chips fall where they may. And if they come together nicely, then boom, you have it. We're out there for good. So
wow.
That's what I'm hoping, and that's what I'm going to make happen. So I got to say those words.
Yeah,
make sure it happens.
Yeah.
But to go back to the support thing with my son, so my grandmother is there. So he's always there with someone. And then my aunt who lives literally down the block, and my cousins who live down the block in that same house that my family owns. So I have them, but I didn't have them before. So, yeah. In Connecticut, it was a little more difficult, but
yeah. Well, now it almost sounds like you have like a whole neighborhood of family that's just like, hey, you want to hang out?
Yeah. It sounds like it, but it's really just my aunt and her 2 kids, which are my cousins. So it makes it sound like my aunt. That's just, I really don't have anyone else. I mean, I have other cousins, but we're not talking out there and stuff like that.
Okay, right.
But yeah, it's really
Dude, this is crazy. I've always learned there's always such, what's funny too is I'll see you do like, didn't you do like
what did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do? What did I not do?
What did I'm pretty sure you went out to like, because I think I've seen you go on like 2 or 3 vacations within the past like.
Oh yeah, I do vacay a lot.
Yeah, what's that? Like you just went out with all your girlfriends to where'd you girls go?
I went to Mexico last, I think.
Was that it? That looked like a crazy spot.
Oh my God. I love it. I loved it. Well, another thing is that my friends, they're travelers. So one of my best friends, she is like one of her things is 30 countries before 30. Like that's one of the things that she do.
Wow,
It's like
okay.
a YouTube thing that she does. So it's because of her I even travel as much as I do.
Wow.
And
it's kind of a cool idea. 30 countries before 30.
Yeah, she's almost there. And
Wow.
so she was in Mexico. Her and my other close friend, they were in Mexico. And I'm like the life of the party, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
I'm
Clearly.
the life of the party. So they're used to me going on vacation with them. And so I didn't go this time because I was like, I got to stop going on vacation. People are saying, you always on. So between traveling for modeling and acting and then going on my own separate vacations, it's like I'm never home, right?
Yeah,
I'm always in the air. So I was like, guys, I got to stop. And sure enough, they're lit in Mexico drinking the tequila. And they're like, Shaunte, we cannot go on this vacation. We're here. It's just, we need you.
It's not the same without you.
It's not the same. I'm like, guys, I said, I don't know what to tell you. They're like, check your email. I'm like, what are you talking about? We booked you a flight. You're coming to Mexico. I'm like, you got to be.
That's crazy.
Yes. And I'm like,
well, then you have to go, right? That's wild.
Like, I got to go. And it just so happened that I had the 4 days free. Like I wasn't booked to do anything. I was originally, but the snow or something had canceled for some reason the day before. And I was like, everything is working out perfectly, so I gotta go.
Yeah, you gotta go.
But I had
so
such a great time.
Bold of them to book you a flight and everything.
And I was like, get you some friends that throw you out there. But they know I like to get away because I do so much, and I really do go crazy sometimes. Like, I think it's normal to kind of break down sometimes when you have a lot going on. Because as you can tell, I have so much going on.
Yeah, there's a lot of things. There's like strings pulling you in every direction. Eventually, you just like yank apart. You know?
And I do that a lot to myself. So my friends know how I like to like just go somewhere and be away for a few days and kind of just think for myself and not for everything else.
Right.
So they do that to me.
Yeah.
But I do go on a lot of vacations.
Yeah. Is there some place that you want to go that you haven't been yet?
Yes. I want to go to Colombia.
So
bad. Actually, I retract that. I want to go first to Italy, Florence. I've always wanted to go there.
Oh, shit.
It's gorgeous.
Florence.
It's beautiful.
I wonder, so I'm going to Italy. My short film got accepted to Ferrara Film Fest, which is like a pretty big film festival out in Italy.
Get out.
Get
out.
So,
no, that's big. You know that.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my God, good.
And so
Good for
me
you.
and the director, Eric, we're going to fly out to Italy in April, really early April.
Wow.
And we're going to spend like 4 days there. But the film festival, there's only 40 films, right?
Uh-huh.
So I think they do 5 a day. And so you have like a huge chunk of time throughout the whole day to like go explore. And so they give us like discounted stuff because we're all part of the festival or whatever. But one of the things is you can take trains to like various places because Ferrara is like kind of like they have trains to Venice and Bologna.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think, where is Florence? I
You
want to
know
look
what?
at it on a map.
I don't know, but what happened is I saw it in a magazine. I was like, it's gorgeous. And I saw like this statue place. Oh God, I forgot what they call it, but it was just so beautiful to me and it was capturing to me. So then also, you ever seen the movie called
So Ferrara, I'm so sorry.
No, go ahead, go.
But I was just going to say Ferrara and Florence are actually very close together.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm just looking it up right now. Ferrara.
So I guess I'm going to Florence and I'll meet you there.
Yeah, exactly.
In April.
Yeah, it's only like for a drive too, and you would probably take public transport.
How long?
So the drive, it's about 2 hours.
That's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it took me 2 hours to get here.
Yeah.
I would totally do that. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll do that in a second. I like to drive, by the way. So it's like,
oh, yeah.
Anything after like 3 or 4 hours, that's when it gets long for me. I'm like, But when someone 3 hours away, I'm like, I could do that. It's easy peasy.
Yeah, it's like I'll do it because I did that when every time I go into New York, that's what it's like, it's essentially 2.5 hours. So
how often do you go into New York?
Not like super often. I'll go if like someone's like, hey, like come, like let's hang out or something. Like I'll do that. Like I went and I hung out with the director of Tuesday, Eric. I hung out with him and went to my first Broadway show.
Oh, nice.
So that was fun because I was like, never done Broadway. It'd be cool to hang out.
Did you like it though?
Yeah, it was like, it's a whole thing because like I'm not really a theater person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, me either.
So, and don't mind me, I just always have to check on the cameras.
Yeah.
But I'm not necessarily like a theater person. So I was like, I don't know how I'll like it. But then you get into a Broadway show and it's like, it's its whole thing. They got moving sets and like, friggin' people on wires and like, it's just like
interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah. And like, so I saw it was a musical and it was like, it was kind of on the bridge of like being so bad that it was good, where it was like, I think it was called Diana or something. It was about Princess Diana.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I've heard about that one. Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, they just had so many ridiculous songs and certain scenes. You're like, what are they doing? But it was like, everyone did a good job. It's just, I don't know, whoever wrote it was just like,
I know.
That's
the only thing I can't get with musicals sometimes. I feel like, why are you singing at this point in time?
Yeah, singing the whole time?
Yeah. I never, I don't think I've ever gone to a Broadway show.
Yeah.
Never. And
I think like
live in New York.
Yeah. See, I feel like it's probably good to see one or like something. The one I'd love to see is The Play That Goes Wrong. It's like
what, is that the name of it?
Yeah.
I was about to say what play that goes wrong? What is it?
What's happening? But it's a comedy show. And it's just like they get on the set and just nothing is going right. Like the people are forgetting their lines.
That's actually funny. I want to see that.
The set's falling down on top of people. Shit's like catching on fire. And like that's like the whole thing. So it's just supposed to make you laugh and be a good time.
I actually like that. Yeah. I might actually look into that.
Yes. And it's like it's one of those where you can even bring your kids too, because like it's not like it doesn't get overly crazy in terms of like
it's not
being
overrated or
no. At least like I don't think so. Maybe there's night shows and there might be like an occasional joke, but I think most of them would go over a kid's head.
Okay.
Kind of like a kid's movie where they have stuff like that. Yeah.
Usually when I hear Broadway, I think of musicals and I'm like, and my friends was just like the other day in the group chat, we're going to see Aladdin and it's so amazing. I'm like, count me out. They're like, you need to come. I'm like, no, I'm not doing it. But so whenever I hear Broadway, I think, heck no.
Really? That's funny.
That actually sounds interesting. I'm interested in that.
Yeah. The Play That Goes Wrong.
The Play That Goes Wrong. I like that.
I've been meaning to see it too because my uncle showed me they have all the plays on like maybe Amazon Prime or something. You can watch like a performance of it.
Yeah.
And it was fun to watch even there. So I'd imagine that like in an audience when it would be a lot of fun too.
Oh, okay. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. But yeah, so back to acting stuff. So do you have stuff that's like, you said you're working on something right now, right? And you're about to like fly out. And so is this like have you already started shooting scenes for this or like?
I've been shooting with them since September.
Okay.
And so we're going to be doing, I have a lead role and we're going to be doing, it's one season, I believe 10 episodes.
Oh, it's like a web series type thing.
So it's a TV pilot.
Oh, a TV pilot.
Yes.
And you're shooting the whole thing?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
They're shooting. And then what's going to happen once it's done and completed, right? That's when they're going to pitch it to all of like the big networks and hope that it gets picked up.
Right.
With one of the big, huge networks. So,
right.
But, so I'm doing that. Coolness. I gotta say,
how did you even get that?
I'm trying to remember.
Is that like you knew someone and they saw you somewhere and they're like, hey, I'd love for you to be in my show? Or
yes, I'm trying to remember.
Or if it was like a backstage thing.
No, it was a backstage thing.
Backstage.
Yep. And I had to submit. What happened was this: I had to submit self-tape, and then they were like, okay, we want you for the main character, right?
Whoa.
And she was like, tall, seductive. I play a lot of dominant roles. We're like tall, seductive, dominant. And dominant, right? And so they were like, okay, we're gonna be shooting this. We just need you to hold these dates and then send me over the contract and the pay and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, shoot, I can't. They were like, we're gonna start shooting. I can't remember the dates. And I'm like, yeah, well, I can't do the first couple of dates because I'm already at the time I was doing like I was one of the course students on Gossip Girl. Okay. So I was contracted
also
with them.
cool.
It was dope. But yeah, working for like going to Center Studios and HBO's fun. But I had to hold the dates for them until I had to hold it for 4 months, Monday through Friday for that 4 months. So right. And so I told them, I'm like, I'll be done in a month with this, project that I'm on right now. Then I can. So they were like, okay, and they chose somebody else because obviously, Showtime doesn't wait for nobody.
Yeah,
but I was like, damn, I thought it was good enough to wait for. But no, so they ended up casting someone else, and so I, being the person I am that just doesn't like to take no for an answer, I was
not sure why you get dominant roles, but
So I wrote the director. I said, well, hey. I wish I would have known you were thinking about picking someone else or recasting because I would have then spoke to my other production since we're close to ending anyways and see if there was something they could do. The only reason why I didn't suggest that first because you are new coming into so
sure.
Obviously seniority type of thing. So I was like, and so I was like, but thank you, but I just wanted to voice that to you. And they were like, okay, well, we do have another role.
Oh.
And so I'm a tomboy.
Oh, interesting.
Oh my God, right? So but I break into a role when they kill my fiance. I break into a role. So
no spoilers here.
You know what? Actually, the show is really. Oh shit!
No, I'm kidding. You're good. You're good. I'm sure. Is that like episode 1 stuff?
Yes. Wait, was I supposed to say no? Oh crap! What
I don't know.
Nothing.
No, I just. If it's episode 1, then you're usually okay saying like, oh, they kill my fiance, like, It's okay.
I think it is. No, I believe we're on episode 2.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. We don't even know the name of the show right now. Yeah. So we could be, and we don't have to say the name of it. We'll keep all that confidential,
It's all good. Yeah, he'll definitely kill me. That director kill me. Like, you can't, he'll kill me. But anyhow, but so the show, like the basis of the show is that, you ever seen the movie Takers with Paul Walker and Idris Elba?
No, but it sounds good.
Oh my God. If you don't, boy, when you get a second, you need to watch that movie.
Takers?
It's so good.
Okay,
Takers.
cool.
But you've seen Hustlers, I'm sure, with J-Lo.
No. What? Don't worry. There's just here. I'm gonna add them to my movie watch list now.
Hustlers is a girly one, but it's still cool, and you might still want to watch it. It's not a girly one, but
I mean, J-Lo's in it. That sounds like a good time already.
She is fire.
And then Takers,
yes.
and Hustlers. All right.
So then, Freak. So I guess I'll have to say. So Finesse is Takers is a bunch of guys who steal millions of dollars all over from like these crazy places, and Hustlers is some women who steal from like rich men.
Oh, okay.
So
there you go.
I guess with those 2 things in mind, Finesse, that's the name of the show. Finesse is a group of women and men. We work together to finesse companies out of millions of dollars, men and women out of millions of dollars.
Oh, shit.
Right. And so we team up to finesse women and men.
Oh, that's really cool.
And,
that sounds like a fun show.
It is actually. The writer's pretty dope, like in his writing skills and the way he just like writes on top of his head and adds things in. But yeah,
because sometimes you have to like change things up when you're on set.
Oh, he's so good at that. I'm not even gonna I'm gonna give him credit for that. And so, and my role, I'm the Tom girl in it, where I'm the Tom girl in it. And what happens is I break out into this revenge role because they killed my fiance. I already told you guys that, so I keep saying it.
Yeah.
And so I go sexy on them to try to finesse all of the guys who had anything to do with killing my fiance.
Oh, so you have so you didn't I don't think you revealed anything. You're just kind of talking about the motivation for your character. Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
You want to know what's crazy though?
What?
I had a scene that involved me kissing a girl, and I had never.
Oh.
So I think it's crazy because the intimacy coordinator, we had to play a scene that we're attracted to each other.
Yeah, you're smitten. Like you see her.
And I actually had to kiss her, and I was like, I never kissed a girl before, so it was really.
Was it like the Katy Perry song?
Yes, I know. Because I did well. She was a good kisser, but there was also a part where we had to make it seem like she was kind of like, oh God, doing stuff to me. So
yeah, wait a minute. So
adult stuff.
I mean, you can talk about whatever on here, whatever you're comfortable
I wasn't
saying.
sure.
Yeah, no, you can say she's just
playing with me.
Oh wow!
Yes.
Like in a bed scenario, a public scenario.
Actually, we were in a car scenario, car scene, and I'm dropping her off, and she comes to me to kiss me because she doesn't want to leave. So she grabs my face and kiss, and then so she's touching my leg, and
wow,
that was
How was that? Because it's one thing to experience it in life, right? When no one else is around. It's a very private thing. But now you have camera people, gaffers, boom operators, friggin' people behind the screen just staring at the screen, And they're like, all right, and 3, 2, 1, and action on, it's and you're
really?
You're like, action, yeah, quite literally action.
Imagine doing that scene 3 times. What? Oh my. I'm like, girl, we got to get it on the first take. I don't know if I want to keep kissing you, girl, but nah. So actually I combined the two. So that actual scene is on the show that I had the movie premiere for last night.
Oh, okay.
And I was really wanting to talk about it because I think, when in the acting world, you have to do things you're not comfortable with, right? For the role. So, but you still have to be very believing and as if natural, right?
It has to feel like you actually this is your idea.
Yes. This is you. This is who you are.
This is who you are. Right. Yeah.
And so in the movie premiere when everyone was watching, I had to ask the audience, they had questions. People were asking, like, "How was that your first time ever kissing? Do you go both ways? Because you did it very well." I'm like, "I did?" They were like, "Yeah, you did so well. Do you go both ways?" I'm like, "No, I don't." But I said, it's so funny that you guys say that because I walked off the set that day feeling like, damn it, I didn't give my all. They're probably going to be like, let's just write her off or something. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
I felt like that. I was like, oh, I didn't give my all because I don't know why. I just felt like I didn't give it my all. But after seeing it yesterday, I was like, whoa, it looked like we're really doing something and it looks like I'm really into it. And then people were like, we need to see where this is going. Can you guys do a part 2? Can you do a part 2? All the guys were like, man, oh man. Yeah. I'm like, and so
awesome.
I didn't realize. So yeah, that was cool.
Well, I wonder if a piece of you maybe didn't feel super convinced because in your heart, it sounds based off what you're telling me is that like you don't feel that sexual connection with someone like that. And so because you don't actually feel that in your heart of hearts, you might be like, does it translate? Even though I wasn't feeling it like that. And then you look at the camera play and the angles and, if you're putting your all into it, even though it's not necessarily like, I don't know how you say, like, even though in real life you don't do that or want that, because you put on the performance and the camera does a lot of work and stuff, And
you're right. So in the camera scene, there's like two guys. There's like two guys in the back of the car, right? Because they got to make sure the lighting is right, right? Yeah. We're doing the car scene and they're in the back of the car. So I have to play this scene right where there's two guys in the back holding lights to make sure the lighting is good inside the car because it was a night scene.
Yeah.
So I'm like, dude, you're right. You have the director here and they're just looking and watching. And then the director said last night, he was like, Shaunte, I feel like I know you. He's like, I had to watch that scene probably a million times only because I was editing. He was like, and I feel like I know you now. I can see that. I'm like, I was like, I didn't even think of that. You probably watched it over and over and over and over.
Oh yeah. And the thing is too, is like when they're watching it, they're not even necessarily watching it and enjoying it. A lot of it is like,
yeah, of course. No, they're not.
You like watch it because you have to continuously like, okay, is this the cut? Is this the take? Actually cut from here to there, go to that. And there's just like a lot of that nitty gritty stuff that like,
there's a lot of intricate details coming into like editing.
Yeah.
Really like people don't really realize like just a cut being here and it needs to stay there for the next take.
Oh God.
Can't be disappear. Like there's a lot of intricate details to like filming and
the continuity stuff is so important. That's kind of what you're describing with the cup being in like the same place. And you'll notice like some movies that like they forget about the continuity. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh shoot, the bag was on the counter and now it's on the table and then you just have a floating bag everywhere. I actually saw this guy, I follow him on TikTok. He's some like writer and producer for television. And one thing he said is the big reason why you don't necessarily like to use cats on set is because they're a lot harder to train than a dog. So like if you put a cat in a scene, you'll have the cat jumping over here in the background and then it teleports and now then the next take it's on the counter and they're apparently just really hard to work with.
Well, although they're supposed to be smart animals, they're not that smart. They don't listen to you. Like I've had a cat and I had a dog. They don't listen.
I feel like that's what makes them smart though.
Yeah.
Because like yeah, they're like, do what?
Yeah. They look at you like
I don't have a name. My name, I'm a cat and my name is the name I'm gonna have. And if you notice, cats only meow really at people and when they're super angry. Like they don't look at each other and go like meow 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 meow.
They're like talk to each other, right? Like
so here's my quick theory about cats. This is a total tangent. So cats have their frequency range for hearing is way beyond that of a human. So it's like, and I think it's even beyond a dog. So like if you picture like the and if this gets super boring, let me know. But so if you look at the spectrum of human hearing, we max out at about 20 kilohertz.
Okay.
So cats go, I think, all the way to like 50 or 70 kilohertz.
They can hear far.
They can, just like, so a dog whistle, when you blow on the dog whistle,
yes, we can't hear it.
They can. Same property, except cats go even further.
Okay.
So my theory is that cats they only meow at us because they know, like when they go, that's like them screaming. They're like, ah! And they're like, and we're like, oh, what was that? Because when they talk to each other, we might not hear anything, but I think they're just speaking in a frequency that we can't hear.
Oh, so I like that.
So like when you see cats and they're all up in each other's grill, like,
they're talking.
They're like, there's little like beep, 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 kind of going on, but our ears just can't comprehend it because it's out of our frequency range.
Have you read anything about that, like on that before? Or did you come up with that on your own completely, 100%? Like it's literally your theory.
This is my theory. I'm sure someone else has thought of it.
Okay.
I haven't had the chance to like look into it, but that's just like what I'm thinking. Like there's got to be like, so another example is elephants, but on the opposite end of the spectrum. So elephants can hear a lot lower than we can because they have such large ears. They're very big animals. And so they did this study a while ago where they mic'd up a whole elephant like family. And what they did was they let the mic sit and they filmed them and everything. And then they enhanced the audio. And you can kind of hear murmurs of them like speaking to each other at nighttime.
I want to see that.
Yeah, it was really cool. I forgot what nature show I was watching, but it's like I think there's a lot of communication that goes on. I know this is such like a hey, welcome to modeling and acting. Anyways, elephants and cats. But I think there's a lot in
murmurs.
Yeah. I think there's a lot that we're not exactly hearing.
That's funny.
You know what? One thing I wanted to talk to you about, and you were like trying to get me to talk about it right before we started, was ice baths.
I'm scared.
No, ice baths.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yeah. Oh, I'm scared. Oh, come on. What do you think I'm going to ask about on
I'm
here?
like, what else have I done? Yeah, it's the ice baths that I saw you do. I was like, wait, hold on.
He's about to get in that tub?
You know, I watched that like probably 10 times. I had to watch it again because I was like, I almost couldn't breathe for you.
Yeah.
It was so like, it was one of those moments for me. And so like when you got in, I didn't think you were going to make it, man. I really did it.
Yeah, that was going to be it. I was just going to be like, oh shit, Randy's dead.
I'm like, I was like, he's going to die on national TV. Well, not national TV. But
his Instagram. But like, yeah, I think, so my buddy Johnny got me into it at all because I was really like, the thought of getting into a bath of ice is like terrifying in a lot of ways, mainly because it's super uncomfortable. Like there's no part of it that like, oh, when you get into it, you get numb. Like, no, it sucks the whole time for sure. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. So there are some health benefits to it. And you're like, so you're like, how could it be like beneficial? So there, you could go like really deep into it with like, cold shock proteins and stuff and like all these like specific pathways that actually happen when you do get into there. However, that can be kind of boring. So I'll go a little bit above that.
Okay.
So when you get into the tub and it's super, super cold and it has to be below, I think, 50 degrees Fahrenheit for you to get any sort of benefits. The one that I did was at first I did a 49 degree one. That was a few months ago. But he's got the setup for the one where you have to he has a pickaxe and you have to break the ice to get into it, which is when you saw all the ice floating. So that's like 32 degree water. And so the idea is that you get improved blood flow circulation. Now, I'm not saying if you have if you're like an old person with really bad heart, you probably shouldn't just hop into a 32 degree bath of ice. But if you're like a young, healthy person, and even like middle-aged people too, maybe don't go straight to 32 degrees. But what happens is you're so cold and your body says, oh shit, we got to warm you up. So it starts pumping blood to everywhere in your body.
Thinking about it.
Oh yeah. And so like when I got out, it looked like my thighs are nice and pasty white. Well, when I get out, they're like red. It almost looks like a sunburn because the blood has been rushing to the tops of your skin. So research has shown really good improved circulation. Oh yeah, you just like to dance too? I was just doing anything to get warm, Shaunte.
Well, I thought that was like a real thing that you have to do after a bath. Because you said, someone showed me that and it actually works. I heard you say that.
Yes.
Like, it works.
Yes. Like, so Johnny showed me this ridiculous dance. He's like, just trust me because when you get out, you're so
you want to be like
cold.
this, but no, you get it flowing.
Yeah, and when you do that, you get the blood, kind of like moving a little bit, and then you go inside and you warm up. But so increased blood flow. It's also been shown to help, especially men and women, though, to increase natural levels of testosterone for up to a week after doing one ice bath.
Why would women want that?
So women have a natural sway of testosterone, right? But having low testosterone for women is also not good. So it's not like you'll increase it to a manly level. You know what I mean? Yeah, I mean, like you have to think like, no, women's testosterone levels naturally are about like 10 times less than men.
Yeah.
So even if yours goes up by 5%, you're still not going to be like worrying about it. All you'll get is increased drive, maybe increased alertness, maybe increased libido, things like that. So like that's one of the nice other factors. Another one, I'm just going to keep them coming here.
Yeah, keep them coming.
So there's a lot behind just the mental capacity of dealing with something that's super uncomfortable. So like as much as it can be like healthy for longevity, and actually a really big one is immune health. There's been really, really good studies about how.
I never thought.
So getting into the cold, your body says, "Oh crap, we gotta up our white blood cells essentially."
Okay.
And so what happens is it's actually really good to do in the wintertime because you get an increased supply of white blood cells. So a lot of people will notice that they're a lot more resilient to colds. They'll heal up a lot faster from getting sick.
Okay.
And then the mental capacity for me was the biggest one. Is just
I like that the most.
Is just like, because you're so cold. I mean, you saw in the video how tense my shoulders were at first, right?
And my buddy tried to relax your shoulders.
Yeah, like Johnny was like, "Hey, like relax your shoulders, like let your butt sink in. It's the last thing you want to do." And forcing yourself to do it and breathe through it. As soon as you get out and you're out of that like suck and that pain, you come up. You feel like you can dominate the world.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But how long were you in there again?
2 minutes.
Whoa.
So 2 minutes at 32.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
You're insane.
Yeah,
You're insane. I don't know. I don't know how you do it.
I feel here's what I would suggest is, so sometimes people try cold showers first.
I was gonna say that, yeah.
Honestly, I think a cold shower is harder. And the reason is
some warmth.
You know what it is about a cold shower is that like it's like little spurts of cold.
Right.
And you feel like you're getting like bullet shots.
You
get
some here, some there. Right.
You know, whereas like
submerged.
When you submerge yourself, I feel like it's all at once. You know, kind of like jumping into like a cold water or cold pool, except like instead of it being 70 degrees or 70. Honestly, when you jump into a quote cold pool, it's probably like 75 degrees.
Really?
Yeah.
And we're like,
you're like, yeah.
That's me. I'm like,
yeah.
I can't. I probably could never survive 2 minutes.
I think
ice bath.
I think we could get you in an ice bath that was more like in the 50-degree range. It would be cold and you wouldn't have a great time, but I think you would when you got out, you'd be like, wow, okay, I get it.
I mean, I felt that way when I jumped off a cliff in Mexico. I felt like when I got out of there, I said, oh my God, everybody's going to hear everything from me. I'm never holding back ever again. I just feel so free.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's kind of the same thing.
Similar thing. Yeah. Because like it's, there's a lot of release that happens from like doing something that's that dramatic, you know, like I would say an ice bath is probably the biggest extreme of it. You can do like the, this is actually more popular in LA is the cryogenic therapy stuff where you get into like a cryogenic tube and your head is at the top and it closes and then it just like pumps you with nitrogen.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Does not sound like something I would ever do.
No, that one's even colder than an ice bath, which I think so from what I've read, the ice bath is kind of like the better of the options.
It sounds way more safer and better.
Yeah. The cryogenic therapy stuff is pretty extreme. But it's like all the rage out in LA.
Is it? I've never even heard of it.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta get ready.
I think it's because there's like stuff that's like more popular over here and versus over there.
Oh, yeah.
Because like you got to think in LA, for them to do an ice bath, they have to get a lot of ice and they have to fill up a tub of cold water and then dump the ice in. Whereas like my buddy Johnny, like that's where I go to do these ice baths. He just has a tub and he just switches out the water the night before and then it freezes, you know, overnight.
Oh my God, yeah.
So, you know, you don't have to like, you just jump in.
I see.
He showed me this one video where he was literally like hacking away at the ice to get into this bath. It was ridiculous.
I don't know how you guys do it.
I've only done it twice. He does it every day.
Why would he do it every day?
Because that's technically when you get the most benefit is when you do it consistently.
What?
Yeah. Although, so the thing is that if you're depending on the type of athlete that you're trying to be too, is like the timing matters. So like if you're trying to build muscle, you don't want to do an ice bath right after you work out because the point is that you are the transient effect of tearing down your muscles. There's an inflammation that happens, but you want that inflammation in order to build the muscle.
Yeah.
So if you're building muscle, you want to do the ice bath almost like way after you work out. Whereas if you're an endurance athlete who's running all the time and you're not trying to build muscle, it can actually be really helpful to do it right after your workout.
Oh, okay. I'm not trying to build muscle. I'm going to go in an ice bath.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been like you can't see my legs now, but my calves are growing. I think I said
that
last
all
time
that
I
heel
saw
work,
you.
all that like you're going on stage like with your heels and everything.
I don't like it. I feel like I have legs like a quarterback.
No, you don't have legs like a quarterback.
If I show you this picture from last night, like you're gonna be like, wait, you might be a quarterback.
yeah, I'm sure that's exactly what.
Why does my arms look so big? But then again, I eat a lot of protein. I was like, what the heck?
I think you look good, girl. I don't think you look like a quarterback.
I feel like, but you gotta see you can't see through these jeans, but you gotta see.
Have you ever, so I'm wondering, have you been like losing a little bit of fat? Maybe so that's why you're able to see the calf a little more? Because it's kind of like hard to accidentally gain muscle. You know what I mean?
I think, okay, so honestly, one of my theories, since you had your theories.
Yeah, let's go.
One of my theories is, I think muscle building, this might not even be a theory, it might be a true thing. I just never read it before. Mm-hmm. Muscle building is also hereditary. It's not just something you can. Yeah. I feel like it's hereditary because I think I have good muscle. I don't lift ever. Yeah. And I don't know why I'm so strong. I don't know why I have good calves and good. I don't know why I have like
definitely. Yeah.
I should be like the weakest person, I don't lift anything.
Yeah. But you're actually strong.
Yeah, I'm actually strong. And then so when I go to the gym, as soon as I start lifting a little bit, next week I'm like, folks, I swear to you, I have a 6-pack low key. If I lose some more stomach fat, you can if I go like this in the mirror, you can see a 6-pack. I'm like, what? How do I have this? And like, where is it coming from?
Yeah, good. No, you're completely correct though. Genetics play a huge role in muscle building.
Some people have a hard time building muscles, and others it's easy. For me, it's if I want to go hard for a week, not even hard, like a little bit. Let's just say I do 30 minutes for this week. I'm telling you, by next week, you're gonna see a big difference. You're like, wow, girl, you're ripped. So one time I was doing that, I was going hard. I'm like, oh, I want to lose some arm fat. And I was getting ripped. And I'm like, people were like, are you a personal trainer? I'm like, no, I am not. And I said, I am not lifting not another weight.
Oh, no.
Ever again.
Oh, yeah. Shaunte.
I don't want to be muscly. So
I know. Well, I think there is a good way to lift weights where you don't have to, I know that
2 pounds. That's it.
What are you saying?
Yeah, the good way is lifting 2 pounds. That's it.
Oh,
nothing more than 2 pounds.
No. See, the thing is I know like because you're going for a certain look, right? Like you're trying to be on like runway model, and runway models are notorious for being very thin.
Yeah.
And so it's like thin and not so muscly.
Yeah.
So it's like I get it. So if that's not like, but here's the thing: if you did like some body weight stuff, like you did some body weight squats and like various sort of exercises that were more body weight, and then you did some cardio, that would be a perfectly fine routine. It's not like you always have to go crazy. I would just say don't say never, because lifting weights is
I guess it is good.
It's really good for you. It's good for your bones, good for your overall health. I mean, you live longer if you do it,
I do enough grocery shopping lifting, so I figure that's good enough. I grocery shop a lot.
No more than one trip from the car, right?
For real. I'm grabbing everything. I'm like, and as I'm walking to the door, I'm like, this is all I'm gonna do.
This is the workout for the week.
Me. For real. Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
But that's one of my issues with that.
Yeah.
Muscle building. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. Now, we have been going for a little bit here, but I want to make sure that we kind of I'm not sure, but I've restarted this I think 5 times, and it does it every 10 minutes. So
whoa, okay.
I think we've been almost going an hour at this point.
Really?
Yeah, it goes by fast, girl.
I talk so much.
No, if we could talk for long, we can talk for longer. I'm just like, I'm saying I want to make sure we cover like any sort of things, like, like I know you mentioned with the lingerie business that you put it on pause for now. Are you going to be maybe shooting content, coming out with designs in the meantime, then doing another drop? Or like, what's your...
So someone brought to my attention, they're like, well, you don't got nothing for men on here. So I am going to now branch out and probably start a men's line. Or maybe like a combination where like it's going to be a matching set. I don't know if that sounds corny, but I'm thinking definitely about adding in something for men in there.
Here's the thing is like, I feel like anyone is so ready to call something corny, but like, okay, so you don't have any ideas. Next,
true.
And like the thing is matching stuff, like couples love that shit.
You think so?
Yeah, I think
like
couples
matching
love that
draws.
Shit. Yeah, why not? And even if the guy doesn't care, the
girl's gonna care though.
Yeah, the girl's like, oh, honey, I got you these cute. And if they're comfy, like that's the thing is if they're comfy, then you're good. You know?
I gotta find some comfortable. I don't know what I'm gonna. I definitely gotta get something in there for the men. And I was thinking about like starting to dabble into like bedroom items, not like the
Not
sex
like,
stuff,
yeah,
but
not
like
like
candles.
sex toys, but like, yeah, candles.
Yeah,
and
like
whatnot.
candles, because Monet Lingerie is like, it's really not about sexuality. I'm not trying to like push being sexual or anything like that. It's really about like just sensuality and just feeling comfortable like outside of your clothes is like what I like to call it. And being sexy at home. I mean, I like to be sexy. I've been single for 3 years, going on 3 years in May. So like, and I still wear lingerie. I got mad. Well, now I have a lingerie line. I have mad lingerie. I cannot.
Yeah, I'm sure you do.
I'm like, oh, I want that.
And you're like, oh, I want that.
Like,
who made this? Oh my God.
I'm like, that came out good. And I do try on every piece too. So that's why I get to keep on. So every piece that that I add to my line, I try it on so I can know how it feels.
Right.
So like I can really give an honest like opinion on it if someone asks me, stuff like that.
And how do you deal with production? Like, how does that work? You know, like you have to source materials and it has to be made somewhere.
Yeah.
You know?
So I do not make them. So what I do is I find, so we have like a fashion district and I go shopping in the lingerie side. And then I have a designer. Like if I want to make any changes, I'll just say, hey, you know, I like this bra, I like this feeling. Can we make the back go across instead of straight down? And then from that, I'll get, you know, I'll buy the set, I'll try it on, and then I'll say, I like it. And then I'll have a designer who is happens to be my cousin in New York. She'll then, after I buy, like I'll say I want 50 small, 50 medium, 50 large, 10 X1, whatever. Yeah. And then I'll have my cousin, she'll then put the tags, my brand on it, and then that's it. So I just shop for people who already design lingerie, and then I just buy it. From them.
Right, you buy it and you curate. So it's like you're curating designs and then like also modifying the designs to fit more of your style.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and I pick the things that I feel like that aren't too like raunchy because I'm not going for like a raunchy line. Like you said, it's more like sensual and like feeling good, looking good in minimalist clothing. Right, and so I just feel like I love lingerie, so now I have a reason to put myself in lingerie. Yeah. and be in front of camera. So and that's how I do it. So and then I have a storage area in my house where I have everything lined up, and then my little area, my little office where the orders come in, and then boom, print out the tag, put it in the box,
send it out.
And then there was one point where because I'm a teen mom and I still want to go with this because I'm a teen mom, I promote safe sex. So in each order, I put a condom in it.
Really?
Yeah. And it's a note that goes with the condom.
That's kind of fun though. That's funny.
I know, right?
It's like, sis, you'll need this.
And then I put always be safe. And that's what I put on the note, always be safe.
Oh,
and then in it has a little like Monet Lingerie supports safe sex. So it's not to force you to have sex. It's just that I support safe sex. So if you are thinking about having sex, because lingerie, people are trying to get sexy for other people.
Yeah.
Sometimes, right?
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, if you're not going to use it, throw it away. But now you know that if you do decide, and then I also thought, I'm like, if a man orders this for a woman, which I thought was a great idea too, and I had a couple of men do that. If you're ordering for a woman, I tie it in a bow so it comes like a little nice gift, right? So she has to unravel it and then opens it, and then she flips over the card and there's a condom. It says always be safe. And so I figure like that's a way for a guy to kind of say like, you know, we've been dating for 6 months now. I'm ready to take it to the next step. So I'm like, without saying it, so he'd be like, hey, I got a gift for you. And she might be like, oh, this is cute. So I was like, but no matter what, just always be safe. Yeah. If you're thinking about it, just be safe. And as a teen mom, I promote. I eventually want to be able to give back to an organization that helps like teen moms or something.
Oh, that's awesome.
Eventually, so that's what I want to do.
Yeah, when you have the capital, right? It makes more sense to make those kind of donations.
So I can't wait till like I get to this to the level where I can do that, and like, the sales are coming in crazy, and I'm able to give a portion back to.
Yeah,
that.
You know, I've always thought too, what would be kind of fun is like. There's a lot of high dividend ETFs, like, you know, in like the stock market and stuff.
Yeah, we'll get into that a little bit.
So if there's one like YYY that'll give you like, that's okay. They're all like ETFs. It's all like very, very safe. They're very stable. But the idea is that the dividends that you get off of it, if you put enough money in there, could be someone's income. So my thought would be like, wouldn't it be kind of cool if when I got to a certain level of status and money and wealth is that I just set up an account, like a brokerage account that just takes all of the dividends from this money and gives it directly to an organization. And it happens like quarterly.
Whoa.
So because then
wow.
like then the money just sits there, and ETFs are very stable. They usually don't go up or down too much. And so the money value that's in there is usually very stable.
Kind of works for itself.
Yes. And then that way you can kind of like, you can make it a yearly thing where like every year you switch up which organization the dividends go to.
Yes, I like that.
It's nice because then it's just like all of this extra cash income is just going straight to like a charity of your choosing.
I like that.
Yeah.
I need you to get that up and running.
Yeah.
I need you to get that up and running and actually doing it.
Yeah. No, first I gotta make a few million, and then that'll make more sense.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna look back at this and be like, yo, you remember that time? Like, yes.
Yeah, you came over to my house and we had the podcast.
You are my first interview.
Yeah. Was this actually your first podcast that you were on?
Yes.
Girl, you're killing it.
Oh my God. I feel like I am. Yeah.
I feel like
honestly, it couldn't have been more perfect that we set this day. I don't know how we came up with this day because I remember it was like really hard for us to pick.
It was like a month in advance. Yeah.
But all I know is that it just so happens that the movie premiere was, I'm like, okay, so after my movie premiere, I now have an interview on a podcast. This sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. We stacked up the events like back to back like that.
It worked out. And I'm like, how the heck did that work? Everything works out, I'm telling you, according to plan, like the way it's supposed to be planned out. So
yeah.
Yeah. But let me ask you, what are you working on right now? We work together on sets. You know that.
Yes. Yeah, I know. That's
so
right. Yeah, people don't know. Yeah, we've done a few commercials and stuff together. So the thing that I have right now is I got cast for a short film as like one of the leads in it. There's only 3 characters, so everyone's a lead, right?
But still.
But it's a really interesting and it's so hard to describe without seeing all of the script because there's a lot of context behind everything. So I play what I would consider a psychopath, which is kind of an interesting role for me because I'm so used to being like the more level-headed or like just the, just not going? This. So the storyline is basically kind of like a love triangle thing, sort of how you were talking about. Except the woman's cheating on her man with me, and he doesn't know about it. And the movie or the film starts with like essentially like, hey, you got to go. Like I'm done with this. Like that's it. And instead of me being a normal guy, I go a little crazy.
You're a psychopath.
And so I tie her up, capture her, bring her back to a cabin, and I give her boyfriend the information to come find her.
Oh.
And the whole plot is to try and convince her that she's with the wrong man. But I go about it in this psychotic way.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. She's not going to go for you.
I don't know. You have to watch the film to see what happens.
Let me see a psychopath face. Make one psychopath face. Oh my God. Yeah, you're good. You got the job.
Yeah,
you got it. You're cast. That's it.
That's just,
are you really doing that face?
I don't know. I don't even know what face I made. I just went with like the...
Oh my God. Yes, and your eyes twitching.
Yeah.
Are you making it twitch?
Yeah.
Is it,
yeah, it's a voluntary thing. Yeah, thank you.
Oh my God, you're good. Yeah, you got it. You got the job.
I think it'll be fun. Like it gives me the way that the director and the writer were talking to me about it. They were like sort of like a Joker-ish character.
Okay.
So not like exactly him, but like how he's very like rooted, grounded in thinking the way he does, but his mental issues aren't something that like even he's kind of aware of them, but like it's not so pronounced that like it's overacted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of my prep for this character, and there's a lot to prepare because there's so many layers to it, you know, is trying to find a really good happy medium between something that is scary, right? Because I want it to be creepy. I want it to be scary.
Yeah. How do you do that?
But I also kind of want to be likable because no one likes a villain, because I'm essentially the antagonist here. No one likes a villain that's just straight evil. Like you have to kind of level with them. Like some of the best villains are ones where you're like, well, they're kind of right though. Like, okay, here's a really great example.
Yeah, who?
Black Panther. Okay, if you watch Black Panther,
I did.
You
Who's
might.
The villain? I forgot.
Well, Michael B. Jordan plays the villain. I'm forgetting the character name right now.
Yes.
But in the movie, at times you're like, well, he's kind of got a point.
You're right.
He's like, look at what they're doing to the world, and I will solve this problem. And so it's just the way that they go about it is maybe destructive or wrong, but they have a good intention to the point where you think, they're not all evil. Like there is intent, there is purpose behind what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to find that fine line in this
Yeah.
because I'm doing a lot of
like
wrong,
you.
right? I'm doing a lot. I'm literally abducting someone, and so it's like, and when you're talking about doing things that like are uncomfortable, like I gotta like tie this woman up and like drag her across the ground at some point.
Do you feel bad?
I mean, like, I'm going to feel bad, but like, we're going to have a conversation that's like, hey, so like, we got to make this believable.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but like, here we go.
Right.
So like.
That's crazy.
I know.
Yeah.
But I'm excited because it's those looking at some of the work that the cinematographer has done, and it's been really, really good stuff.
Okay,
so
good.
as long as I always like, if I'm going to do a performance like this or a character like this, I want to make sure it's in good hands because like something like this could be filmed really bad and then it just looks bad. Yeah. Even if I do an okay job.
Yeah, you got to pick. Speaking of that, do you ever like feel like you get picked for a job and you're like, no, I can't do it because you don't feel like it's good for your character or your career?
Yeah.
Some things you
I'll
have
tell
to
you
turn
about
down.
one right now.
Tell me.
Okay, so this time last year, I got a lead in a short film.
Mm-hmm.
And it was actually a bisexual character. And I was fine with that, right? And I was even like, there was going to be a scene where I was going to have to kiss a dude.
What?
Yeah. And I was, at first, I'm fine with it. Like, this is the character, the storyline's seemingly pretty good. And then they sent me the full script. And all of a sudden, there's this scene where we're making out in the back of a car, and there's like stuff flying across the screen and whatnot. And I was like,
what?
Like landing on our masks. I was like,
no.
I was like,
no. They try to keep it from you a little bit.
About that. Yeah, they left it out on purpose, and that was kind of like what I didn't like about it is that like it was a multi-layered like issue for me. Number one, I don't want a short film that I'm going to be in to be like essentially a porno. With a man, mind you.
No, Randy, no.
Yeah. My manager saw that. She's like, "Can we talk about this film?" I was like, "I don't want to do it." She's like, "Yeah, I don't think you should do it." I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, some things you have to turn down, right?
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's important to know.
I think there's also right now as like you have to be, for whatever reason, careful about choosing certain roles too, because like I don't think it's super common, but there's definitely times where I think people are like, oh, if you're a straight man, you shouldn't play a gay man. Which like, is like kind of tricky for me because like people are like, oh, that job should go to someone who is gay. But my thought is like, I think there is some help in like casting straight men as gay men or, however it goes.
There's
because
some truth to that though, yeah.
I think what's helpful about it is when you have to become a different person than who you are, you have to do a lot of soul searching and empathizing or sympathizing or however it is with that character. And so along your studying, you start to develop, like this is what it would be like to be in 1945 as a gay man. What is that like? Yeah. Oh shit, they had to go through all this stuff. I'm now learning about a sector of the world that maybe I never would have put my shoes in prior to getting the role. It's a very small thing, but I think it is like important to like force people to think like outside of themselves sometimes.
I like that. Yeah. No, absolutely. But I'm glad you turned it down.
Oh yeah.
I'm glad you turned it down.
Yeah, that particular role was like,
if you don't feel it, you don't feel it, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. If you have a type of image you want to convey, and that's not part of it.
Yeah. What do you see your like ideal, like if you could be in your ideal movie, like, where do you see yourself in like movie types?
Oh God, I want to do a badass action movie. I want to be like a Scarlett Johansson.
Oh shit. Yes. We should do it together. I want to do action too.
I want to land and do you really?
Yeah. My long-term goal is to be an action movie star. If I could choose a role for myself right now, it would be to be Terry McGinnis, who is Batman Beyond.
Terry, I'm gonna say I don't know. Oh, Terry. Okay.
In Batman Beyond.
Really? I was gonna say you could be Thor and I'll be Scarlett Johansson.
Well, those movies already exist, so I'm like trying to think of movies that don't yet.
Yeah.
But like Michael Keaton as old Bruce Wayne, and then me as like his like student. Oh God, that's a dream.
That's a good one for you though. I see that.
Or like a romantic comedy. Would love to star in like a because I grew up really loving like The Proposal. And like all of those like Ryan Reynolds, like, what's his name? Ryan Gosling type movies where they, it's like a comedy, but it's like two people falling in love around it.
Yes. Okay. What about, would you ever do like a horror film?
Oh, fuck yeah.
I would never do a horror film. I'm going to have nightmares.
But like it's different when you're on set because the CGI isn't happening. And I hear horror sets are actually a ton of fun.
Really?
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. Everyone's laughing on set.
I've heard the exact opposite. I heard that whenever someone does like a crazy Exorcist movie or...
Well, that's with the original Exorcist you're talking about, right? Where they did that and it fucked them up for like a while.
Well, I heard everyone who's ever done a crazy like scary movie, you never see them again after that.
What?
Yeah.
Well, look at
let me think of who. I don't know.
Because the one guy that I'm thinking about that's in a ton of movies,
just go crazy.
Is what is that movie?
Who? Name dropping.
You know, did you ever see Insidious or like The Conjuring?
Actually, hell no. I don't like scary movies.
Oh, really?
I'm the type that I'm afraid all October and all November. The month before October and the month after October is like the scariest time of year for me. I hate it.
Oh, you do?
I sleep with the lights on. I'm scared of the dark. Now,
really?
This is a real thing. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
I'm afraid of the dark. Yeah.
See, I really like a scary, his name is Patrick Wilson.
Patrick Wilson.
He's been in a ton of scary movies and mainly this like the Annabelle, The Conjuring, all those kind of movies.
Oh, Annabelle scares me.
Yeah.
Why'd you say her name? I hope I'm out of here before it gets dark.
Yeah, this house is haunted anyway, so.
I hate you right now. It is black.
I'm not kidding. I have been in this house by myself, like downstairs. No. And like there'd been like I go upstairs and I'm like, nothing happened. And I'm like, all right, I guess I'm just crazy. I was in the attic getting foam to like re-put the foam back up on the walls here. And it felt like a hand like brushed the back of my shoulder, and like I turned around and like nothing was there.
Shut up!
And that was right after my foot went through one of the floorboards up there too.
Are you trying to scare me right now?
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
But all that stuff is true though. So.
Is it true?
Yeah, all that stuff.
Stop lying.
No, like it's definitely creepy, but like I mean, it just
do not bring that spirit onto me.
Yeah,
okay?
I won't.
Whatever you do,
I won't. Yeah, I won't. Believe me, they're too attached to me.
Do you ever do that? Does it ever happen to you, that witch riding your back thing? Does that ever happen to you right now?
What do you mean?
You never heard of that?
Witch riding your back?
Yes. I know we're totally going off.
Sounds oddly sexual.
I know we're totally going off, but for you, it might be sexual. For me, it was like freaking torture. I'm scared. Yeah. The witch riding your back is like, oh God, I guess it's like you ever try to like, you ever wake up and like, you're trying to move and you can't? That never happened to you?
Yes. Sorry, that's called sleep paralysis. My bad.
No, it's not. It's called witch riding your back.
Okay. Yeah, it's the technical term for that is sleep paralysis. Yeah, when you wake up and like your eyes wake up but your body doesn't.
And you're trying to, sometimes I'll be talking. I'm calling my sister. She's sitting right there. I'm like, Shawnee's, and she can't even hear me.
Oh yeah, it's probably because you're not actually talking. Only your eyes are open.
Don't try to give me a lot. But no, one time, this is a true story. One time I woke up and...
Did you see a dark figure at your bed?
I see that almost every night. That's why I keep with the lights on. Yeah.
Jesus.
I see figures.
Don't watch...
I do not sleep.
What's that show that's on Netflix? Haunting of Hill House.
I won't.
Oh.
I promise you I won't.
God, there's this one episode called The Bent Neck Lady that would ruin your life. It's really good though. It's honestly like... As far as like horror cinema goes, like it's like, I'm not kidding. That episode in particular, I think is some of the best horror film based stuff that I've seen, because I'm not a super fan of like gory horror. Mm-hmm. I like the more like storyline creepiness factor.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm totally interrupting your story here.
No,
but anyways,
not.
She suffers from chronic sleep paralysis. And one of the most common things that people experience with sleep paralysis is they'll see like a shadowy figure of some kind in their vision. Yeah.
I don't want to have sleep paralysis no more.
Yeah, I saw this thing that was like, if you try and cough or sneeze or something, it can kind of like wake yourself up.
I usually say a scripture and it works. I was like, I don't know. I say, Lord Jesus, please, and they'll get off me.
Really?
Because it's someone holding you. You can feel them holding you.
Yeah, like the pressing.
Someone's holding you. And then one time, this happened to me once, and I'll never like one time somebody was like really pushed my whole body up against the wall. Yes. And I fell. And I that's why I never slept with the light off ever again. Yes. I'm not making this up.
Wow.
And I'm not making it up.
So you're saying that
my body was on the wall and I was like, I swear to you. I mean, I cried. I never slept with the light off ever again.
So the scenario is you're in your bedroom, you're sleeping.
I woke up and my body was against the wall. Like, I don't even know how. And then I just fell.
Like you were like hovering?
Yes. Like,
this is a really big claim, Shaunte.
I swear. I mean, I hope it's not a dream and it felt so real, but I'm telling you, ever since whatever that was that happened to me, maybe I was in a paralysis mode and I was dreaming.
Like you were.
But I felt it. I was like, and I was panicking and and I was praying to God. I'm like, God, please, whoever this is, like, let them get off of me. And then boom.
Oh my God.
And then I never, this was years ago, and I never, ever, ever, and that's why I'm afraid of the dark.
Wow.
I know. So
yeah, that makes sense why you don't watch scary movies then.
I will watch them with someone. I have to be with someone.
Yeah. And I feel like you got to be a next level psychopath to watch them on your own.
Oh my God. You know? I think so. So some people love that. Some people love it.
God.
What is wrong with
I spend too many nights here by myself where like, and this happened so my door in my room doesn't have like, when you shut the door, it doesn't like click shut. It like is always kind of a little bit open.
Oh guys.
And I was sleeping one night and I woke up right as it was going like,
oh my God.
And I was like, all right, you're 26 years old. You are an adult. You are an adult man.
Are you?
There's no way that you're scared right now. I was like, I'm fucking scared. I was like, and I had to go pee. So I'm like, now I have to get up and go approach the monster.
Just pay a high electricity bill and keep the light on.
Yeah, keep the light.
That's it. Just keep the light on. But I will keep like the hallway lights on and turn my bedroom. I don't sleep good at night because of it. Because I have like fluorescent lights in my bedroom like this.
Oh no. You gotta change that.
So I actually picked that.
Oh really?
Yeah.
You like the like daylight looking lights?
I just needed so the house that I live in is a connecting house.
What's that mean?
Meaning it connects to other homes. Like you know how New York, it connects to another home. So you have a detached home, a fully detached, a half detached. Mine is a fully detached house. So there's another person's house attached to my side of the house. So there's no like you can't walk. In order to get to my backyard, you have to walk through the front door and go to the backyard.
Okay. Wow.
So it's two homes attached.
Oh, interesting.
On both sides. So I use a lot of fluorescent lights because I feel like we only have front windows because it's a 3-story home. I have 3 floors, and then back windows. We don't have any side windows because my house is in the middle of the 3. So yeah, I think so. That's why I choose these lights to get more of a daylight kind of feel. I feel like so I sleep like shit.
I mean, you could just like turn. I was gonna say you could turn them off, but like the whole point is that you don't. Have you tried like because like I'm just like thinking like so they make these bulbs that they're a little bit more expensive, but they're not like that much.
Okay.
And you can control the color and you can set them on like a timer so that like as you get closer to nighttime, they'll change to
a darker color.
Yeah, like a more orangey color.
I would not even want that. I need it to just be bright. And you know what?
It will impact your sleep though.
I know it does. I know it does. And my son, oh my God, I will panic. My son now, because he's older, he'll walk downstairs. He's not afraid of anything. He doesn't sleep. He likes to sleep in the dark. He doesn't believe in like ghosts and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So he comes downstairs. He'll turn because his room was on the 3rd floor. My bedroom was on the 1st floor. Yeah. And he'll come downstairs and turn my damn light off. I'm like, do you want to get killed? Turn your own damn light off. Leave me alone. He's like, I like to make sure you sleep well. I'm like, if you don't get away from
even
my
like, have you tried like a night light or something? Like, I feel like you got to minimize it.
I just feel like it's not enough.
You're telling me right now that you sleep with full lights on.
In my room, yeah.
Get out
just
of town.
Like this, and I'll be like,
what the fuck? How do you do that?
I know. So, but if I really want to get good sleep, I'll go upstairs in my son's room and sleep with him. I can sleep in the dark, just not alone.
Not alone. Interesting. So, you just gotta get one of those big body pillows. Pretend like it's someone else.
I did do that for a little while. This guy brought me this 6-foot teddy bear, taller than me, and it's so heavy. I used to sleep with it, but it doesn't protect you if you need help. So, had to let it go. But yeah,
that's amazing. That is amazing.
But yes. Oh God, we're going today. I like this.
We're really going
so much. And you guys only got a tip of who I am.
Yeah, that's right. So, we'll tie it up though. Yeah. This has been fun. So I guess any sort of like last little things you want to say before you head off? Any sort of things people should look out for or anything like that?
Yes. I mean, always look out for my lingerie line, of course. Men, I'll have something for you too. Monet Lingerie. It's Monet-Lingerie because someone already has Monet Lingerie. Can you believe it?
Yeah. Shame on them.
I know, but they're not even using that domain or whatever you call it.
Yeah, like the username.
Yeah, they're like for the website. So I'm talking about for my website. Yeah. I'm like, I might have to pay them off or something because I want it.
Yeah, eventually you totally could. You know?
Yeah, eventually I'm thinking
it's all
about
about capital. You know, once you have it, you can.
They're gonna be like $100,000. I'm like, girl, you're not even using it.
Yeah, but when they got you, they got you. You know.
Yeah. So, but yes, I'll have my men's line coming soon. I'm not gonna give up on Monet Lingerie. It just takes me longer now because I'm filming. But yeah. I'm gonna build a team, so keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out for me on your screens, guys, because I'll be all over the screens, all over your billboards soon, all over your magazines soon. So just remember the name Shaunte Monet, and that you heard it first here.
Oh yeah.
And then that's pretty much it. If you're in New York and need a home, I can sell you a home too. That's it. That's it. I'll be working on my acting career. I'll be working on my modeling career, and I think.
Sweet.
I think.
Oh yeah, what's your Instagram handle right now?
Yes, my Instagram handle right now is Shaunte Monet Smith. The whole shebang.
Yeah. So okay. All right. Cool.
It's ShaunteMonet Smith. Shaunte Monet Smith.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. It was a blast. And yeah, I guess we'll talk soon and all that.
Randy, I'm not done with you yet. I want to keep talking.
I know, right?
No, thank you for having me. I had a great time. You're dope. You're awesome.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Do I say bye?
Yeah.
Do I say?
You can.
But I'm not saying bye to you yet, though. No, I'm kidding.
No.
Bye, guys.
Thanks so much for listening to Bone Apple Tea. If you like the show, please give us a follow, like, comment, subscribe, whatever it is. Tell your friends about it. And make sure to follow us on Instagram. That's Bone Apple TV, BoneAppleTeav on Instagram. Thanks so much.